is 10:28 p.m. in the East. Streaming live on Pride48.com. It's time for The Mix. My name is Daniel Brewer. I do not do this show alone. I do it with the mouth of the South. I was gonna do your whole intro from Joe, but it's little Adam Burns. How are you, Adam?
The big cock from Little Rock, but not really.
I'm doing excellent. Thank you for asking. Yeah. You would have to hear that Joe Batanz has a whole big workup that they do on your award-winning podcast you do with him called Throwing Down.
Yes.
Which you can find...
throwingdown.com. I have no idea.
Okay, great.
I really have.
That's great.
It's Afterthought Media. Maybe you can Google Afterthought Media. It is a Patreon only situation.
Right. It costs money.
So I don't know.
This is the only place, ladies and gentlemen, you can hear Adam Burns having a conversation with another host for free. This is it. This is the only place. And you know what I did just before we go any further? I want to address this. On our hosting platform, Anchor, which is Spotify, they had a new little thing that said, "Do you want to insert some ad breaks?" And so I thought they would throw in, a single ad.
That was a lot. And although
it threw in like 10 ads.
I mean, we did. Our monetary income went way up. I mean, I'm not saying that it's a lot.
We're not.
But,
so, and I apologize. It was the last two shows. I will not check on that button this time. There is a way, by the way, that we can just make a break and then just throw the commercials in that part. You know what I'm saying? That like mid-show break or whatever. Anyway, the point is...
at the very least, that could pay for the celebrity death phone each year. I'm just saying.
But I think 10 commercials on a podcast
was it really 10? It was a lot. I did listen to one, but 10? Did you count?
There were 3 pre-show, there were 3 mid-show, and then another 3, like another 30 minutes into it. So that's like 9. And there was probably one at the end. I mean...
That's about as many ads as the amount of medication that we have for Sydney at the moment.
Oh, look at you. Yeah. Look at you trying to do a segue, but
I understand. Call it out. Not if you call it out, Daniel.
I understand.
It's ruined.
So for those new listeners here that don't listen to Adam's daily award-winning podcast, The Geeky Gay, his dog Sydney has been ill in the hospital. And it's been a roller coaster, but good news, Sydney's home. So go ahead, give us an update on.
Wow, you did my whole summary. Thanks, everyone. Good night. Oh my God, we know that I do not enjoy going to the doctor personally.
Correct,
and it's because I get very worried about negative outcomes. Now, I realize that not going to the doctor can lead to a very negative outcome, but maybe that you're just you're surprised. It's like a surprise.
The negativist. Yeah, the negativist.
But so I'm that way. Anyway, last week.
Yes.
Sydney, first of all, we thought we were about to get another dog because we thought, you know what, she's getting into her older years. We're going to get her a buddy. Plus, we'll have a spare in case she dies.
An heir and a spare.
Yeah. And she's been, seeming very normal and everything. No symptoms whatsoever of anything.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But last Thursday, I turned her over to rub her belly, as we do. We sometimes carry her like a baby and we'll like rub her belly or whatever. And it was purple. I mean,
purple.
One whole side, all the way from the belly up to like her chest.
Ooh.
And like really angry purple. Not just kind of, I mean, like an angry, I'm mad at you like sort of purple.
Like she got bruised or like.
Yeah, I mean, it was a bruise.
A bruise.
A bruise.
I mean, a bruise is just blood in the tissue. So yeah, it's blood. There's blood, basically.
There was. So I called the vet immediately and I'm like, hey, we need to schedule an appointment. But I had no idea what it was. I just assumed it was a bruise, but I thought we need to get this checked out.
Right.
So I'll make this short because you can go back and listen to Geeky Gay for the daily updates. But
yes,
it was very serious. So we ended up taking her to the vet. They did some tests and they're like, you may want to take her to the emergency clinic because they have,
which is always lovely to hear.
yeah. I mean, they were calm about it, but she's like, look, we don't know exactly what it is. They have a specialist there. They're going to be able to tell you. She said it's looking like this thing called ITP, which is, oh God, immunothrombocytopene something.
Sure.
Bottom line, we take her there. We take her there and they do a whole bunch more tests. And that's what she has. Although they don't know why. It can be primary, secondary. It can be caused by cancer. It can just be an immune thing. It could be caused by a flea bite or a tick bite if they have a viral, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But what it does is your immune system attacks and destroys your platelets.
Yes.
So, and people get this as well. So she was bleeding. She was basically hemorrhaging and it was horrible. It was horrible. We had to leave her in the hospital. We couldn't sleep. I was just every day we would call in because what they do is they did chemotherapy.
Mm-hmm.
They did steroids. They did all of this stuff that's supposed to like basically block your immune system, just like kill your immune, because the only way to get the platelets back is to basically have no immune system. But every day they do a blood test to see has the platelet count come up.
Mm-hmm.
And every day it was like 0, 1, 0. And I'm so nervous. I'm like having heart palpitations before I call. Finally, I made Mark call. I'm like, I can't call. But eventually they did start going up. And they want them to be at 50,000 to send her home. Yeah,
no,
that's correct. 50,
no.
but 50,000.
50. Yes.
Well, it's 50,000. They abbreviate it to 50, but
okay. But if every other measurement you're going to give is going to be on the other scale, so just 50.
So anyway, it was 0, 1, 0, and then they had to do a blood transfusion. That was even because she got so anemic because she was bleeding internally at this point. Right. So they had to. And this is the other thing. I didn't know that they're like animal blood donors.
There are.
Yeah. So they're like, well, we're going to have to call our donor. I'm like, really? You have like a donor list about like who? I mean, and I'm thinking, are these pet owners that are making extra money on the side by like pimping the blood of their animal or something? Because
more than likely they're pet owners that have had transfusions before and it helped their dog. And now they're willing to, help to pay it forward, basically to help somebody else that.
Yeah.
It saved their pet's life or it helped their pet. And so they're willing to donate it because it's a need, right?
So I was sure.
It's not like the Bloodmobile pulls up, at the dog park.
Well, I thought they just had, if they were going to have that, I would think they would just have bags of blood, okay, this is a Shih Tzu, this is a Cocker, Pomeranian, whatever.
I mean, blood carries oxygen and stuff, and it kind of needs to be, what I'm saying? It's like it has a shelf life. You can't just.
Well, that's what they do for human blood. They keep bags of blood in some bank somewhere. But anyway.
Cool. And in a particular type of container and stuff. I mean, there's a very specific, it's not just Ziploc bags laying around.
No, and there's so much to say about this. First of all, they loved her hair. All the nurses and all the women and girls there loved her hair. And every time we would go see her, because we went to see her every day, she would have a new braid somewhere. They decided they just needed to braid her hair.
Can I posit something here?
What?
Can I posit something? I hesitate to do this because you're in that phase right now where your dog's sick and, these people are extending a kindness to you. And so I probably shouldn't do this. But a few years ago, I realized when they were talking about how much they loved my cat's coat, like, I love her patterns. Their patterns are so unique. It's just, she's so gorgeous. I'm like thinking back to all of the pets that I've had in my life, and they always say that about all of my pets. And I'm like, I started thinking, is this is this just something they teach you in veterinary school
maybe.
to like pick out a thing about the dog that or the cat that's, pretty and tell them so that because the patient is stressed, the person is stressed, right? And that'll help calm down the person because you're complimenting their pet that they're obviously, attached to and they're bringing there. So it's like now anytime someone says anything nice about, anytime the vet or anything talk about, how pretty Ian is or how, gorgeous Barley's eyes are or whatever. I'm like, yeah.
Well, first of all, her hair is gorgeous. And second of all, we get that everywhere. The groomer, everything.
That's what I'm
because
saying.
they're
I think it's just I love that dress.
I think it's because most Shih Tzus have a puppy cut and we keep her hair long. And so they've always it's so unusual. We never see Shih Tzus with long hair and whatever. Anyway, they braided her hair, all this kind of stuff. And
right. We haven't gotten to the part where you've brought her home
apparently, yet. I know. Apparently they thought that they know that we're gay because when we would come in, they would say, Sydney's daddies are here. And they would be like, oh, whatever. Anyway.
Right. You didn't correct them?
Well, we are her daddies. So that's.
I am very definitely the mommy. So it's like.
No, we're both.
I always correct people.
I'm daddy 1. Mark is daddy 2. That is the way it is. So we went through that. Finally, the platelets started going up. Finally.
Mm-hmm.
And, I just want to say the last time we paid, we were at, hopefully people will think I'm a great person for this and not crazy, but we were at $6,800.
$6,800.
$6,800 for this.
Yeah.
But the last couple of days, her platelets shot up. I mean, it went to 8 and then it went to 16 and then it went to 35 and then it went to 57. And anyway, so we brought her home. She's on 9 different medications, all of this stuff. We're having to shove pills down her throat because she will not. We tried
love taking pills.
We tried putting them in treats, and she, no matter what treat, she knows there's a pill in there. It doesn't, and she will not touch it. I do. So Lamont asked a good question. Am I getting airline credits for this? Yes. 100%.
Oh, well, there you go. That's where it's.
And I just want everyone to know I'm pretty good. I'm pretty sure I'm going to meet my loyalty point level that I need to. So thanks, Sydney. Wow. But anyway, when we picked her up, not only did we get to pick her up, but we got a refund for $1,100. So
there you go.
So I only paid $5,700.
Right. In reality, this is where that gay math comes in, right? It's just like,
what a deal.
I mean, the bill was $6,800, but they gave me back $1,100. So really it was just $57. I got a deal when you think about it.
I told Mark, I said, this must be a strategy. They charge you out the ass, and but you're in such you'll pay anything because your baby is sick.
Yeah, and but they like to get the money up front because anyone who has a pet and who loves a pet, of course they're going to say, yes, whatever it takes. Yes, whatever. Just do it. I don't care what it costs. Just do it. And sometimes those people have the best intention, but they can't pay it. Right? It's like they have no way of paying that $5,000. So it's like, I think the reason they gave you a refund is they probably, charged they basically did like a retainer. Like
must have been.
This dog is this level 6, so we should probably have a retainer of this. Otherwise, we're going to have to keep getting authorizations for treatments and stuff like that. And this way we know that we have a bank.
It was so much that I had to request a credit increase from my credit card because I don't have a super high limit on my card, and I had just bought a projector and a screen also on the same card. And every day we were paying like $1,500, $2,000, whatever, and I only had a $10,000 limit at that point. So I had to, but it was super easy. You just go on their website, request it, and boom, it was like, okay, there you go, extra money. But anyway, so she's back home. It's going to be, like I said, we have 8 pills. Well, not 8 pills. We have a mixture of squirty medicine and pills, but it's about 9 different things.
Right. Well, the squirty thing, I feel like the mistake that most people make when they put the pills in, try to hide it in food, is that they use too much food. It's like they put it in a huge cheese block, or they put it in a, it's like if you take like the thinnest piece of ham or something and you just kind of wrap just enough to wrap the pill. And then you have other ham that doesn't have pills in it, and you give her a little piece of ham. Here you go. Here's a piece of ham. And then you give her a second piece of ham, and by that point, she's going to inhale anything you give her. So you give her the one with the pill in it. She inhales it. She doesn't know. And then you give her the other piece of ham that has that doesn't have a pill in it. And so there you go. 4 pieces of ham. Problem solved.
I mean, you would think, and that is a very logical thing for you to say, but Sydney is like the pill whisperer. Also,
saying.
I mean,
we're scared of her power. You're probably like shaking when you give her the one with the pill.
No,
and it's like she just knows. It's
no.
like don't go, because you're like she's a witch. She knows there's a pill in here.
I mean, but also, and Cyclone makes a good point. She eats rocks. I mean, why will not she take a pill? She'll eat a rock. But anyway, that's
Have you thought about putting a pill in a rock?
Yeah, maybe. Oh, good idea.
You know how they have the ones. They have the ones that you hide your key under for the, like a biodegradator, like one that would dissolve in her stomach, just like a little pill rock. There you go, Adam. There's $1 million idea for you, the pill rock.
So anyway, she's back. We're going to be traveling less for the first couple of months or 3, and because we have to get our platelets all the way up to where I don't know, actually. I think it's 100, but I'm not sure. But 57 apparently was a good, like, they shouldn't bleed anymore, but they really want her to be. Well, it's the low side.
It's important. It's important to remember that it was 35 earlier in the day, and then it was 57 by the time you brought her home. And you're not testing her blood at home. It could be much higher than 57 now.
No, so. my I don't even know what the equipment's called, but my spinner thing and all that, like
centrifuge.
My centrifuge.
Your centrifuge.
It's on the fritz, so we can't we can't test it at home. But anyway, thanks everyone for their thoughts and whatever else. We're glad to have her home, and
I am glad, and I'm touched that you've called me during the week to keep me up to date on it. And I always get scared when I see your name pop up, because I'm like, oh, please be good news, please be good news. And it's been very good news this week. So yeah,
you didn't get the benefit of the bad news. I didn't call you over the weekend.
Yeah,
while I was contemplating whether or not we were going to have to,
right. Yeah. Well, in fairness, I was at Disney running a race, so I probably wouldn't have, taken the call.
That's true.
I did want to, thousands of people tune into this podcast each and every week, Adam, to hear about my running update. They're highly invested in my journey to get off my fat ass and run, which I started a little over a year ago. And I have now run my second Disney 10K this past weekend. And then the weekend before my 10K, I got all cocky and everything, and I decided to run a 5K, a little Halloween 5K up in Clermont, Florida, which is where we're looking at property at. And so I did. I ran the little Halloween 5K.
So wait a minute. Really Are you telling me that you are testing out the local 5 and 10Ks of the place that you're going to buy land to make sure that they have a sufficient run?
No,
so
but it
before
certainly
you buy
adds,
the property.
No, but it certainly adds to it that they have a cute little downtown with like little breweries and restaurants, and they do activities. Like we're going back. We're doing the Christmas run, the Christmas 5K down there also. Anyway, it was really cute. The town is like right on the shores of 2 big lakes, but so you kind of run along the shore of the lake, and then for the Halloween one, you duck off into these trails, which are the fitness trails that go through this area. But they had little scare zones set up there with little volunteers that, are dressed like zombies, and, they would scream at you and whatnot. It was really cute. It was really, really cute. We had fun. Our friends Nick and Alex went with us and also did the 5K. But here's the medal that I got for that. So this is
nice. That's a nice one. I like it. Yeah, they spent some money on that. It's got multiple colors.
So go ahead, explain it to the people
who
are not watching on YouTube.
Oh, I feel like he has a name, but it's a guy with a pumpkin for a head. Is that the Sleepy Hollow guy, maybe?
Yeah, and it could be. Or it's a
what's his name?
It's a scarecrow. Yeah.
What's
it's
the guy?
A scarecrow with a pumpkin head.
Oh yeah, basically. Scarecrow with a pumpkin head, and he's walking Ichabod. He's walking through a grave, and there's a blue moon with bats behind him. And it says
it's
Nightmare on Clermont Trails.
Yeah. Presented by Publix.
So,
anyway, so that was, we had a really fun time at the thing. But the big event, of course, was the Disney race. And whereas the Halloween run that we did was in the evening, the Disney race, the 10K that I was doing and have been training for months and months, is at 5 a.m. So 5 a.m. in the morning,
Could
as you may
give
recall.
Sydney her medicine when you get up to go do the run? That would be great.
You know what? I could have, because here's what I did. I recognized the fact that during the last Disney race, the one you were here for, that it really is difficult to go to bed at 9 o'clock in the evening when you're not used to going to bed at 9 o'clock in the evening. So you just kind of lay there and then you toss and you turn and you end up. And so for the race, even though I went to bed early that night, the night before the race, when you were there, I had only had a couple hours sleep in total. And so I was very tired and I was running off just pure adrenaline. And later in the day I crashed and it was just,
ladies and gentlemen, it was adrenaline and tears is what you were running on.
Yeah, that's what it was. And so I decided this year, you know what? I'm just going to start. So after our Halloween run, we came back that Sunday night. You know what? That Sunday night, I'm saying, you know what? I'm going to go to bed at like 9 or 10 o'clock tonight. I'm going to start getting up at 4 a.m. every morning this week. So I went ahead. So because I knew we had the time change coming up and there was going to be some readjusting anyway. And I'm like, you know what? I've got things to do. And it's quieter in the morning and I could just sit there and do some work. And, even if I fell back asleep, just get used to going to bed late, at that time and waking up at that time. So I did that all week long, which did pay off. I got a very good night's sleep before the race. It was a bit chilly. There were a lot of non-Floridians complaining about how cold it was.
Listeners, when Daniel says it was chilly, he means it was like 77.
Okay. No. I'm saying here's the thing, Adam. It was upper 50s, lower 60s, but it's like, no, I'm saying there were people other than me saying, oh, this is really cold. I wasn't like, they had blankets. They had like little Mylar blankets and stuff.
Oh, I was picturing like a shawl or something. You're running around and they give you a shawl,
They were cold. And it's because of the humidity. It's just they're not used to the cold with the damp. And anyway, so it was fine. I thought it was very pleasant. It's a little bit cold, but it was okay. This was Zach's first 10K, so we were in Corral D. So we got to Epcot at just right at 4 a.m. and went through security and everything, got into our corral. And
it makes you sound like a horse. Or a cow. We got into our corral and, they branded us and gave us our shots. Yeah.
They did. They gave us our Disney shots. And we went. Some of the costumes this was a Beauty and the Beast themed race. So some of the costumes I saw that I thought were really clever. Someone had a taco hat and they were dressed in a gold dress and they were Taco Bell.
I
Beauty and the Beast. I
wasn't thinking of like creative costumes, but I figured there must be a gay boy dressed as Lumiere because I feel like that's like a gay.
There were many Lumieres
and maybe just
with candles,
like not a shirt, no shirt at all, just painted silver.
No, because then your bib. Well, I guess you could have your bib on your shorts. It's like runners typically don't go shirtless because that you have to have your bib visible so you get your photos.
Hey, is this a thing, by the way? Has this happened to you? Because I recall, I've never been a runner, but I recall when I have attempted to run for a long distance, my nipples would get raw and hurt. Is that a thing that you have experienced? Do you have to like put on some nipple butter or something when you run or like a pasty? or something like that?
Early on when I was running, so early when I first started running, I used Band-Aids. I just put a Band-Aid over my nipple and it was fine.
So now are you saying your nipples are callous like a guitar player?
No, if you'll let me finish, if you wear a tech shirt, which is a running shirt, then it doesn't agitate your skin in the same way. It's the cotton that's doing it. Cotton is a very coarse fiber, and so that's what's agitating your nipple. It's like the tech shirts are polyester and they're very smooth, but they wick sweat and stuff, so it's like they don't agitate the nipple.
I didn't have the right kind of shirt then.
That's right, you didn't, and that's what. So we were in our corrals, and we got up to the starting line, and started off, and for some reason I told Zach, I was like, well, I'm just going to walk for the first couple of minutes before I start my intervals. And he's like, okay. And then as soon as we got past the bleachers there at the starting line, I just started running, and I was just like, wait, I thought I was going to walk. I just got swept up, and I got swept up in the excitement, and I just started running. But I was feeling great. I was on a 3-minute run, 1-minute walk interval. And the first interval I did after 3 minutes of running, I was just like, I'm not even going to walk. I'm just going to keep running. And so I ran for like another couple of minutes, and I'm like, I should probably not like do this because I have another 5.5 miles to go.
Yeah.
So it's I should probably not like do this. So I backed back down, but I was able to do my interval the entire race. It was great. I was not tired at the race. I felt great. I felt great on that race. It was just like, I was hitting my stride. I was, I wasn't like keeled over, like, gasping for breath or whatever. I had a very nice pace there. And so, yeah. This course was slightly different than the last course, because the last course we went through Epcot, and then around the hotels, back behind Epcot, and then back through Epcot again. In this particular race, we started in Epcot, but we went out on the roads and went all the way down the main road, World Drive, like the main to Hollywood Studios. And we went in, we just did a little bit of Hollywood Studios. So we ran through Hollywood Studios just a little bit right past the Tower of Terror and the Cars thing. And then out into the parking lot and back to Epcot, past the hotels. And then once we were in Epcot, we just did a tiny little piece of Epcot. So we did a whole lot of road running and not a lot of theme park running on this particular race. But as you know, I always have a list of characters that I'm willing to stop and get my picture made.
Yeah,
with,
and a list of ones that you won't.
Right.
Like, you're like, well, hell no, I will never stop with Goofy.
Yeah. So, right.
I feel
right. Yeah. So, I did. I found Stitch. No, I'm sorry, not Stitch. I found Agent P. They had a Phineas and Ferb photo op where they had the Pluto photo op before, which was right after mile 5. So right in the back part of Epcot there. So I got my picture made with Agent P, which was great. And that was the only picture that I got. And of course I went over the finish line there. Here's the medal that you can see here. This is my...
Oh, that one looks like it rotates.
It does. So it's the Wine and Dine 10K. And then on this side is Mrs. Potts and Chip, because it's Beauty and the Beast themed. And on this side is Lumiere and Cogsworth. Oh. So
is Wine and Dine where you dine while complaining about things? Is that
no, there's no H in the wine. This is the run weekend that takes place during the Wine and Dine event at Epcot. So anyway, so there's my race.
Did we want a description of that medal, or we
Oh, well, you want to tell them?
It rotates. It looks like a clock a little bit.
This is what they call a spinner. So yeah, the center of the medal rotates.
I thought I was going to describe it.
Well, go ahead.
It's got 2023 at the top. It's black on the outside with gold roses. And then the middle circle is we've got Wine and Dine 10K with it's yellow with a Mrs. Potts and a Chip.
Yep,
I believe.
Chip.
Yeah. And then the other side, you rotate around, it's a blue background and it's got the clock.
Well, Cogsworth.
Cogsworth and Lumiere. Yeah, I was having trouble remembering Lumiere, so I started with the clock. That makes no sense because I also didn't remember the name of the clock. But anyway, yeah, and so that's it. And it rotates and it's got a yellow
It's very heavy.
Holder.
I was holding that up there for a very long time. That was very heavy. The Disney medals are just really, really heavy.
Is it a common thing that the medals are always metal in these races that you go to? Have you ever gone to one that's like a plastic medal or?
So my medals are right there.
Uh-huh.
This is my 6th race. So yeah, all 6 of the medals I have gotten have been metal. Some of them are very, very cheap metal. Like the July 4th one is it's
aluminum foil.
Yeah, it could be plastic. It could be plastic painted as metal. But anyway, so that's my running update. I have been keeping up my running because, as you know, I have another race coming up in December, a 5K, and then I have the marathon weekend, which is January, the first weekend in January. I'm doing my next 10K at Disney, which for Autism Speaks, the one that you donated for. So that'll be that race weekend.
I should get like a first class ticket and a free seat at the race for the amount I donated.
Mm-hmm. You should. So there you go.
You know what? Maybe I can come there for that because Mark was saying that I could, come see you guys by myself if I needed to do that for points or whatever.
Yeah, you could.
I could. And now one of us has to stay here and babysit Sydney, so our dog sit.
I mean, we're actually staying at a Disney hotel that weekend.
Fancy. So is it my turn now?
It is. The Walt Disney Wine and Dine 10K was the reason that I could not record last week. But the week before we couldn't record because you went and did this.
Yeah, we went to see Pink. And I don't have too much to say about it, but I'll just give the really quick rundown. We drove to Kansas City.
Yes. Everything's up to date in Kansas City.
We had a lovely hotel that I booked through American Airlines Shopping. I got 6,000 loyalty points for that hotel.
Oh, wow.
And then, it was like some sort of Marriott, but it was anyway. So, and we were able to walk to the T-Mobile Arena from the hotel.
Ooh. Yes.
So we stopped at a at some place to eat. They had ramen. Ramen and that's where there was a guy who was a server. Now these are some sort of Asian people. I don't know if it's Korean or whatever the case may be, right? But I want to watch myself. I don't want to say anything offensive, okay? I don't want to use the wrong word.
Sentences that start with these Asian people, it's probably rarely end up badly.
I don't know if they were Korean. I'm thinking Korean, but is ramen Korean or is it Japanese? Anyway, it doesn't matter.
No idea.
Because I've already put my foot in my mouth. He was so short and small.
Yes.
He looked like they had like a 12-year-old. I was thinking, this must be a family and they must have like their 12-year-old, walking around and serving and stuff. Mm-hmm. In Arkansas, that's common. I don't know if that's common other places, but it is in Arkansas. Usually it's the
family restaurants, family-owned restaurants. I mean, they're
like
less and less
restaurants
nowadays,
having their children work because that's legal. We used to go to this place in Star City that was a steakhouse. It was some kind of cult or something. It was like a church group, but they owned anyway. They all their kids worked. You'd have an 8-year-old bring you your beer to the table or whatever.
I feel like that was everywhere, but that was of its time. Like everything today is franchised and chains. It's like, so you can't really, it would be very difficult for a family to set up a restaurant and be successful at it.
Maybe.
Just because with that much competition.
So we did that. It was good. The point was I asked Mark, I said, because Mark is also Asian.
I did not know that.
I said, "Hey,
do you know what type of Asian he is?"
He's Filipino. I do.
Oh, okay, great.
I said, "Hey, since you're also Asian, can you tell me how old you think he is?" Now, there is no evidence that Mark is correct, but Mark says probably like mid-30s, early 40s. I was like, "What?"
Okay.
I was like, "What?" He looks like he's 12. Mark's like, "No." Anyway, he's like, "You stupid white man. You don't know."
I mean, it is a known. know if you know this or not, Adam, but I do have a degree in psychology. I don't like to talk about it. But, it is a known fact that you recognize faces of your own race with more detail than outside of your race. So white people notice more details on white faces than they do on black faces, which is why you come up with the common, like, they all look alike, kind of a thing.
Right.
However, the opposite is also true. Black people see more detail on other black faces than they see on people with white faces. So same thing. I think here is that in this case, you've got Mark, who is Asian and, sees more details on Asian faces than you may.
Yeah, probably.
So I would be inclined, all I'm trying to say is, Adam, today on this first day of Diwali, I would bet you that Mark was correct.
I believe is how they pronounce
it.
Okay,
but did you know that gambling on Diwali is considered... Did you know that gambling on Diwali is considered, that you'll have good luck for the rest of the year?
No, I did not know that. No,
there you go. I have gambled.
Fatty,
I have gambled here on this first day of Diwali.
Oh, good.
It's so weird because they, when they tell us in at work, when our Indian coworkers are telling us, they don't pronounce it Diwali. They call it Diwali.
My Indian boss and my Indian coworkers all said Diwali today when they said Happy Diwali on the meeting that we were on. So
pronounce Diwali.
Maybe it depends on where in India you live. Maybe some pronounce V as W as V and some don't. Maybe
Diwali.
Yeah, she says
Diwali. Yeah.
Diwali.
That is the American pronunciation. The British pronunciation is
Diwali.
There you go. That's the problem. It's not an American Indian thing. It's a American British thing. It's like the British pronounce it Diwali and the Americans pronounce it Diwali.
That's weird because these are Indian people that actually are from India. I mean, not like people who've...
Yes.
So why wouldn't they be saying it the way they say it in India?
India was, I don't know. They have a certain history with the British.
Right,
I'm
saying then they would say Diwali, but I'm saying my Indian coworkers said Diwali. So, which is not the British way of saying it.
Right. Maybe they were not in an area that was part of colonization, or maybe they have rejected the oppressor's language. I don't know.
We're off track though. Let me get back to Pink.
I have no idea where we are.
Let me get back to Pink.
Pink.
So the guy looked young. We went to the Pink concert.
I thought we were talking about a waiter.
No. Yeah.
Who looked 12.
We were walking to the Pink concert. We stopped and ate ramen. And the waiter looked really young.
Now, but I want to say, you thought he looked like a child.
I did. He did.
Okay.
He did. He was wearing, I guarantee you he was wearing Kids Gap. I guarantee you.
He's a small
jeans
guy.
and a polo shirt from Kids Gap. I'd like.
All right. So you ate your ramen.
Yeah, we ate. Then we went in. We had floor seats, and let me tell you,
lower seats.
I still would rather have like that first row of the upper tier, so you can kind of see above people's heads.
Right. That was the ones that you couldn't buy. No, I couldn't because you had to buy all three.
Yeah, you had to buy 3, Ticketmaster. How dare you? So we're on the floor.
By the way, I saw a hack on that. There was like, all you do is you go in and you buy one seat and you go all the way to checkout and they'll hold it. They hold that seat for like 15 minutes or whatever. So you do that in an incognito browser and then you go in under your account and then only those 2 seats will be available.
Oh, okay. Well, too late now. So anyway, I didn't really want to... The floor was actually cheaper. So we did a couple floor seats. Daniel, they put a special... They draw on your hand.
Yeah?
With one of those markers that you can't see except in UV light because when you're on the floor, you are special.
Oh,
not just everyone. You have to show them your ticket.
I belong here.
They don't let they have guards at every entrance to the floor, and you
did they vet you? Did you have to like go through extra security?
I'm known. I'm known. So they know they're, Mr. Burns. Yes, come right here. Anyway, So the floor has its own concession stand and bathrooms.
Ooh.
So we were able to
and
go.
And it was cheaper. It was
cheaper. The ticket was cheaper. But those seats are so close together. You would have thought you were on an airplane.
Yes.
And I had a lady beside me that had the biggest hips of any lady. It's not even that she was super overweight, but she had her hips.
Any lady that you've ever, like Wendy Cameron?
Any bigger than Wendy Cameron. I don't even know how big Wendy Cameron's hip.
Bigger than Wendy Cameron.
You don't watch Food Network, I don't think, but there is a chef on Food Network's Alex Guarnaschelli, and she is like this and then boom. Like, I mean, just like hip, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
This lady had bigger hips than Alex. And now I did not say anything to her. I didn't go, I'm sorry, lady, you have, but when I would sit down, her hip was in my seat. I had no room.
Excuse me, ma'am. Your hip is in my seat.
But I never said anything the whole night. Most of it was standing, which is what I thought was going to happen. Pink, by the way, fantastic. Her voice is fantastic, and she did so much acrobatic aerial stuff, and she like flew around the stadium and anyway, it was great.
Yeah.
At the end of the concert, though, big hip lady turns to me and says, "I'm sorry I kept bumping you during the concert." I was like, even she knows. I haven't even said anything,
She knew.
Anyway, it was good, and then we just drove home the next day. So it was that was it.
Apparently, Big Fatty calls it magenta.
Oh yeah,
that's his name for pink. Because Big Fatty has names.
He does for everything, for all the
everything.
social networks.
Fucking everything. And it's just, you know what? I have this topic down here at the end of the show, the little end of the show. I'm just going to move that up and move something else down there, just so I can talk about it right now. I was listening. I know you don't listen to the Little Fatty Cast, but I was listening to the Little Fatty Cast.
No, but I do listen to Big Fatty, everyone.
And just out of nowhere in the Little Fatty Cast, Larry Vader says something about, well, I have a lot of problems with that mix and blah, blah, blah. Yet he repeatedly says that he doesn't listen to our show. So I don't understand what problems he has for a show that he doesn't listen to.
With our mix? Well, don't you think that he could just be saying that because you are very proud of your audio quality?
He didn't say, he just said I have some problems with it. He didn't say what the problems were or whether they were sound related or not. But then how can you have a problem with a show that you don't hear, that you don't listen to? You know what I'm saying?
If a tree falls in the silence of the forest.
Let me tell you, Adam, your mom called Big Fatty on the line.
I know, you told me.
And I think I made that call a month ago, if not more.
Did she sound like my pastor? Because I feel like
and here's the thing. I had forgotten about the I listened, every day to his show, and I was like, oh, maybe today will be the day he played it. I got tired of waiting, and I just forgot that I had made that phone call. So I'm at Disney. I'm just past the starting line. I'm running in my 10K, and what pops up on the rotation in my podcast as I'm going, running down the course, but that show and that phone call, I didn't remember half of it. It was like,
did you like, oh my God, I'm on Big Fatty.
I was just like, wait, I don't even remember saying these things. Adam's mom is great. She's funny. It's like, she should call in more often.
She's going on tour.
She should call in more often. Yeah. And she got very excited when God was going to smite things. I thought that was amazing. And I was just like, oh God, that's great. This is a
that could be
great
a
character.
Big Fatty segment or whatever, like the call from Adam's mom,
Well, here's the thing. I know it was me,
But
but I don't remember any of those jokes. So I was
you were really entertained by yourself.
I was.
You're like,
God,
I'm funny.
I was very entertained by your mom on the show. I think that she should call in more often.
I think
should tell your mom.
you have a connection there that you could probably make that happen.
That is one thing that happened during the race. The other thing that happened in the race, I'm not going to tell you about because you'll have to wait until Big Fatty runs his next Shark Week because I have that also on this race, and I haven't sent it to him yet, but I will send him the Shark Week recording there. So there, I moved that up to the top of the show. What were we talking about? What got me going on this?
I don't know, but I was done.
It was the fact that Big Fatty calls her Magenta.
Oh, yeah.
The chat room was telling us that Big Fatty calls her Magenta, and that made me think, you know what? We have this AI thing on Zoom. We should ask it to recap. Let me see. I can ask it to catch me up on what's gone on so far. So, hello, AI companion. Please catch me up on what's going on here in the meeting. This is a conversation between Daniel Brewer and Adam Burns. They discuss their experience at a Halloween run, the medal Daniel received, and their hotel stay. They also mention a concert they attended and a phone call made by Daniel's mom to Big Fatty. There you go.
Wow, there you go. Notice it just said there all the time, kind of like it didn't know what our pronouns were.
Right. Yeah.
So it just called us they.
Tell you, man, that AI, they're just going to put us out of business. So I was a little concerned about you with the whole Sydney thing.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
What are you talking about?
I was looking at the next topic and then you said Sydney. I don't think.
No. That next topic is a source of my concern.
Oh, okay.
Because here's the thing. I worry about you, Adam. I worry about you all the time. And, I have your best interest in mind. You're my best friend. I don't want you to die or to get hurt or anything. So I worry about you. You said on your show that you had what was it? It's not a mimosa. What's the other thing that you had?
We had
a Bellini. A Bellini. Right?
A Bellini.
A Bellini. And you went on your show and you said this on your show. You said a Bellini is like a mimosa, except instead of orange juice, there's pear or something.
It's peach puree. Yeah.
Peach. And instead of champagne, it's Prosecco.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there going, there's only 2 ingredients in a mimosa. You basically just replace the entire. You literally could say, like, a Bellini is kind of like a Bellini is a lot like a gin and tonic, but instead of tonic, it's Prosecco, and instead of gin, it's peach. It's like just like you literally replaced every ingredient of a mimosa. I don't think you can now say it's like that.
I get what you're saying. Like I get that angle that you have on it. But Prosecco is the same thing as champagne, except it's not in champagne. It is the same thing, but they legally can't call it champagne.
Correct.
Right?
Correct. Champagne has to come from the Champagne region of France.
It's basically the same thing. So really the only difference is the peach puree versus the orange juice.
But if there's no difference, then don't call it out. Just say it's like a mimosa, except it has orange. What is it? Peach?
Yeah.
Yeah, it has peach.
Because remember when we went to the Butter Biscuit maybe a few months ago, they tried to tell me something was a mimosa and it had no peach puree in it, or a Bellini or whatever. It had no,
The other thing that makes me worry about you is you played a phone call on your show from Scott. From Scott in Northern California, who told you to watch a documentary on Netflix, and you said, "Oh, that sounds interesting." And it was in reply to something that I don't even remember the whole chain, but he mentioned that. And then the very next day,
I didn't remember.
Fatty says, and I quote, "You should watch that documentary that Scott suggested. It's really good."
Yes.
So he even reminded you that Scott told you about it and that you should watch it. And then you were like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
I know. I
don't
didn't. I really.
Are you
didn't
talking
remember.
about Missy Witt? And you start.
I remember. I do have a bad memory. I do. Honestly,
that's concerning. Have you gotten it? I know you haven't gotten it tested because you don't like doctors, but
no,
it's just I just feel like it wasn't like I could understand if it's your content.
I would go get a memory test. That's not what I'm worried about. But they'd want to draw blood and do all kinds of other stuff. So
I mean what is the memory test? It's like man, person, camera, lights, whatever the Trump thing. Yeah. Anyway, I worry about you.
Well, I'm glad if you don't worry, you worry because you love. So
that's right.
Yeah.
You know what else I love? I love it when people call us.
3, 2, 1. Contact is the secret, is the moment when everything happens. Contact is the answer, is the reason that everything happens. Contact. Let's make contact.
Excellent. It is the contact segment of the show. This is a segment of the show where we read your emails, play your voicemails. Adam, do we have any emails this week?
Yes.
Oh,
it's a little bit visual.
Okay.
It says it's from Tony, and he says, I know Adam was having a time trying to keep the 3 words, the mix, standing out.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Keep
you were talking about
I know what I was, but it was
the
gay.
logo. Yeah, you were talking about the logo for this show,
Yeah.
the gay mix. Yes.
Yeah, correct. Because, well, anyway, I did a 3D model thing, and I'm recreating the video, and so I can tweak it as well. But I'm just recreating it for now. And the logo, I need to change it because right now it says mix minus.
Yeah.
And we want to say the gay mix, but I don't want I don't want it to be the gay mix.
Mm-hmm.
I want it to be the gay mix. Like I want mix. So I was just talking about on Geeky Gay.
Yeah, you want it to be the
placement.
mix and maybe have a little tiny rainbow gay, like a little tiny cursive, a little cursive gay, kind of like real thin kind of cursive gay hung up in the corner there.
I don't no,
hi,
not a cursive.
I'm a cursive gay.
But anyway, he sent it, and thank you so much, Tony. It was a good idea. Also, in level 13,
he posted.
Someone posted a different logo idea.
A
different logo, which I like. Sorry, Tony, a little better.
That was a fancy day in San Tropez.
I really like the placement of gay in that one.
I feel like it's a little chunky, and I need that little cursive.
Don't
gay.
shame. Don't shame.
I need a thin cursive gay, is what I need there. A little thin Twinkie kind of a.
Was that your stripper name in the 30s or something?
Cursive gay. Yeah. Back in the 30s when I was a twink. Well, thank you both for. I've never even changed our name on anything. I think. The YouTube channel, I think, is the gay mix, but I don't know that I've even changed our podcast, whatever. I mean, the name, whatever. We keep talking about it and then we never do it, but I kind of do it, but then we don't do it.
I think you
it's like
created them or something. I think you have to go in and do
probably
things.
Yeah, you're probably absolutely right.
But we are both procrastinators. Both of us.
But now that I'm not editing the show, Now I'll have time. I'll have time to go into it. You freed me up. Are there any more emails before I get to our voicemail?
No, that is it.
There are new emails?
New emails.
There are new emails. Oh, what are they? Well, then please tell me what the new emails are.
There are new. No. There are no new.
Hey guys, Scott from Northern California.
Hey Scott.
Richard Roundtree.
Yeah.
Played Shocked.
Yeah.
Dead. Woodhaven.
I completely forgot about Woodhaven. Oh, I have to write this down, or I will forget about this. You tried to explain to someone on Geeky Gay where Woodhaven came from, and you didn't get a single thing right. about it. So I wanted to talk about that.
By the way,
to
was
kind of-
that a ding? Is that a famous person?
Richard
I don't know
Richard
who
Roundtree?
Richard. Is it that?
I don't know. I mean, let me look.
Should I Google him?
Richard, yeah, I'm
Richard,
doing that
'cause
right now. Richard Roundtree. Oh yeah, I
Richard
recognize him. He's from that This Is Us. I think isn't he the guy most recently?
Maybe. Could be. Was he the old dad who died?
Yeah,
of
the one that died. Yeah,
something.
Yeah, I think. But yeah, he's been around forever. He's been an actor.
Okay,
forever.
I'll give it to you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, definitely.
There's a ding for you.
Oh, that's me. I have to
Number
go back
2.
and play the next. Oh, number 2. Is that where we're at? Thank you, Adam. Thank you so much. Hello.
Hello. Yes, I am sitting here across the table from a man named Daniel.
Oh.
And I have received certain news that a certain Matthew Perry from Friends has passed away.
Oh.
I was not responsible for it.
Uh-huh.
I knew nothing about it until it was now. Thank you.
Well, who is that? He didn't say who it was, and I don't know who that is.
That was Nick. And he was he ran the 5K. He and Alex, his husband Alex, ran the 5K with us, and we were at the brewery eating after the race when we found out that
And
Matthew
you're like
Perry
boring
died.
them with your podcast. You're like, guys, guys, will you call my podcast?
See Street Rat right there in Discord. That's Nick.
Yeah.
I mean, they're out tonight. They're out at a
okay.
club tonight, so he's probably not listening right now. But it's like, but that's Nick. Anyway, the point is, that's Matthew Perry. That's the first Matthew Perry. He called and he's like, "Oh, I should call," and I didn't do it.
If
and he's
he
like,
wins,
here's the thing. Here's the thing. He thought that we answered the phone. He didn't
Did
want
he
to
think
call.
you were going to pick up the phone. And
He thought that he didn't. He thought that we answered the phone. He didn't realize that it was just a voicemail that it doesn't ring anywhere. Like he was worried that he was going to be ringing a phone somewhere at
it's our answering service. The Mix. How can we help you today?
Anyone else who may be in that boat, don't worry. We never hear the phone ring. It's fine. You can call us as much as you will never hear the phone ring. It's fine.
By the way, though, we always do this. I always diss people, and a new caller, and here I am making fun of them.
I know.
Call one. Cyclone says new voices are always delightful. Yes, new caller.
They
Nick,
invited.
Nick, if I can
Alex,
call you that, I appreciate the call.
They invited us out tonight to go dancing at the gay club,
Uh-huh.
and I was like, no, I got to do a podcast tonight, so
right.
couldn't go. But we're going to their house tomorrow for game night, so I'll see them tomorrow night for game night. Anyway, hello,
Number
Hey guys,
3.
it's Tom of Tom and Terry in the Chicago's.
Hey Tom,
Just calling to let you know that Matthew Perry has died from Friends. He was 54, and apparently he drowned, which is very sad.
Apparently.
Okay, take care. Bye.
Okay, great. Yeah, Tom and Terry. Last year's winner of the
the least likely to need to win that prize in Pride 48.
Adam, this is a contest, not a charity. We're not
That's true.
giving the money away based on need. We're giving the money away based off of luck. That's all. Next phone call. Hello.
Hey guys, it's Tom of Tom.
See, I thought that number 3. See,
Number
3
4.
and number 5.
4.
No, they're both the exact same. Here's number 3.
Hey guys, it's Tom of Tom and Terry in the Chicago's.
Here's number 4.
Hey guys, it's Tom of Tom.
Oh, you know what? It's just Tom called the second time.
He called twice,
Okay.
Terry in
Daniel.
the Chicago's. Just want to let you know that Richard Moll, 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 who played Bull, the plaintiff
on
Night
Night
Court, has died. He was 80 years old. Makes us all feel pretty old. Okay, good night.
And I know
Wait,
that
what
you
was his
are a
name?
Night fan. Richard Moll, Moll. Yeah, he was Bull on Night Court.
Yeah, I am a big Night Court fan, and yeah.
Okay. There's another 15-second call. Great. Apparently, everyone is just making 15-second calls.
Howdy, Adam and Daniel. This is Gary in Portland.
Yes.
Matthew Perry is dead at age 54.
Yes.
He was on Friends, I believe.
Yes.
So anyway,
he was. Yes.
miss you guys these 2 weeks, and I hope to hear from you soon. Bye.
All right. Gary
posted a lovely photo of his window, and his leaves changing color.
Oh.
Yeah.
This next one is 4 seconds long. I'm gonna.
Are you just gonna announce all of the times for every call?
I'm gonna predict it's Kathy Bacon. Let's.
Hi guys, Scott from Northern California. Matthew Perry dead. Woodhaven.
He went to the Kathy Bacon School of Brevity though, and
maybe it's a contest. They need to compete for who can have the shortest, get the
here's
most
the
content in the shortest amount of time.
Because I had 4 seconds, I have no idea what number we were on. Was that number 6 or was that number 7? Number 7 is 44 seconds long. Number 6 was 4 seconds.
6,
okay.
and
all right,
we're
number
on
7.
number 7.
Hello,
Adam.
Yes.
Daniel.
Yes.
Or should I say Daniel?
Yes.
Adam.
Yes.
Matthew Perry. Dead.
Yes.
Born the same year as me.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. He does look pretty bad in the picture I just saw, so I guess that's what a life of fame and drugs does to you.
I mean, he had been sober for the last
you probably never heard of him,
years.
because I know you two aren't really in and up on the latest cool
social
TV things from back in the day, but I'm pretty sure he was on Friends or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, American actor. This is Scotty Rosie Battler. Winner, $2. Thanks.
Okay.
Woodhaven.
Okay, there we go. There you go. I already dinged. Didn't I ding?
You did
I
ding.
think I did.
You danged.
I dinged.
You dung.
I dinged. Okay, here we go.
Adam, Daniel, this is Scotty Rosie Battler.
A minute and 34 seconds.
I feel like this is a technology segment question, but even though I think Daniel is the far superior technology person.
Thank you.
Don't be offended, Adam.
Yeah.
I know when I ask this question, Daniel is going to just give a ridiculous answer, whereas Adam will give me a good answer. So, Adam, it's really for you after all.
Great.
So,
listen, what I need to get some.
I'm sorry. What?
I was just going to say. So you've offended me. You've slapped me in the face and told me that, Daniel is the far superior technologist than Adam.
Exactly. Yes. Mm-hmm.
And then you're like, but I want Adam to answer this question. Like, what?
Right.
I feel like an abused. What's where you treat somebody nice, but you play on their insecurities and like, man, you're cute for someone so short, or something like that.
A backhanded compliment, is that what you're
kind of like that? But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
HomeKit, Apple, total Apple universe, HomeKit, automation, security, lights, etc. Devices, and I need to order them in the next day so they can be delivered in the next week.
Well,
and then I can get 10%.
I don't
goods
think
and services tax refunded when I go overseas.
Anyone
in a week and a half's
could
time
help you.
I don't know what to get, like security camera, motion sensor.
Yeah.
Those little door and window sensor things to tell when someone's like breaking into your house.
But what?
It's
kind of late.
I just don't know. And what's a good brand? And it has to work with HomeKit. I do not have any crapola, Google, or evil fucking Amazon shit in my house, and I refuse to support Amazon.
Wow. That phone call just got cut off really right when he dissed Amazon. It just dropped right out. That's weird.
I don't have. First of all, he wasn't clear about what his requirements are. Like, what problem are you trying to solve?
I have money to spend, and it's got to be Apple because I'm Apple. And
no, he said it's got to be Apple, and then he said, "Tell me what brand I should get." So I don't think he meant, I don't know. Because I don't have security cameras or the alarm or anything like that. So I'm not really sure. I mean, if I was going to do it, I would probably go with like either the Amazon one. I think both Amazon and Google have those things. I would just stick with a big company like that.
I would go with anything that was Matter compliant. So, because Matter is the new standard that they're working on for better interoperability amongst all of them. So it's like Matter is if anyone supports Matter, they're going to be a newer company that actually cares about the standards and will probably be a better product. Let's go to our next phone call.
Daniel had a better answer than me, Scotty.
No, but he didn't want my answer. Just remember, he didn't want my answer. What is this? Is this a butt dial?
Wouldn't it be funny if they were cruising and we start hearing like
or maybe they're masturbating?
Scotty's masturbation calls.
Wait.
Come on, boys.
Oh, it sounded like Scott in Northern California.
How long is this?
10 more seconds.
Come on, go party, boys.
Yeah.
Come on, Woody.
Isn't that Scott in Northern California?
It is.
There you go. We got to hear his him call his dogs.
His dog's name is Woody.
Oh, Woody.
Yeah.
we hope it's his dog.
Well, that's what he said.
Come here, Woody. Come here. I mean, I've been on the trail. I've said things like that. Let's move on.
Hey guys, it's Tom of Tom and Terry in the Chicagos. Just wanted to let you know that
Yeah.
Peter White, the actor who played Alan in Boys in the Band, has died. He was 86.
Yeah.
I also remember him on probably 3 or 4 different episodes of Murder, She Wrote. Have a good day. Bye.
He was on Murder, She Wrote. Peter White? Is that what we just said?
Yeah. He said Peter White. Tom from the Tom and Terry's.
Oh, okay. It was there's a musician named Peter White. So when I was Googling it, I was getting a different face. So yeah. All right, yeah, I guess. I'm sure. I mean, at least he's not Australian. So yeah, sure. We'll do that. All right, our final phone call, Adam. Our final phone call. Here we go. Let's listen to it right this moment. Right now.
This is a call for Daniel.
It's me.
For the running segment.
Yes.
So, Daniel.
Yes.
Zach just posted your times.
Yes.
And his medallion he got.
Yes.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, medal.
Anyway.
Yeah, medal.
So my question is really for Zach, but he's not on the show, so I'll ask you.
Okay, yes.
Was Zach a runner before, or did he just suddenly decide to start running with you? Now, I realize there's an age difference, that he's 15, 20 years younger than us. But quite impressive, though, that his time was
better than mine.
12 minutes.
Yeah.
Not to brag, because it's not my brag to brag or whatever, but after Garrett ran and he showed me his time, and it was just under 10 minutes, maybe 9 minutes, 31 seconds a mile or something was his average or whatever. So anyway, I was just like, whoa, if that kid thought I was going to keep up with him, he's bonkers. But anyway, no, I was just curious because that is really good time. And I mean, you've been training to get to, that speed, but I was just wondering if Zach, I'm just carrying on here. Goodbye. Woodhaven.
Yeah. No, Zach was not a runner before he started running, because I started running.
He's 20 years younger. That's what it is.
He is 20 years.
That's
no, he's been training as long as I have. I mean, this was his first 10K, so he's been training for it since 6 months ago. So we've both been training for this 10K for 6 months. So no, he was. The weird thing about his time on that race was when we first started out, he's like, my knee is really bothering me. And I'm like, well, then don't worry. Just walk it. Don't run. You know what I'm saying? Just walk the race. It'll be fine. And because you can walk faster than a 16-minute mile. So it's like, yeah, at least enjoy the course, right? Don't worry about it. Don't hurt yourself, right? Because remember, we ran a 5K the weekend before. So his knee was hurting him on the 5K, and so he felt like it was going to hurt him on a 10K more. And then he said, okay, I'm just going to walk. And that's when I started running, and then that was the last time I saw Zach. So I'm thinking in my head the whole time that he's walking back behind me, and then I get to the finish line and, go past, get my medal and everything, and I'm waiting. And I'm sitting there waiting for him
to
waving
at you.
He's already in the reunion area. He came in 12 minutes ahead of me. So he was but I will tell you this. I didn't include this in the racing segment, in the running segment, is on both races, both the 5K and the 10K, I was in the top 50%. So I was better than 50% of the people running.
Good job. Good job.
In both races. Barely. In the 5K, I was barely in the 50%, but in the 10K, I was pretty comfortably in the 10%. So, I mean, in the 50%. So anyway, thank you all for calling.
51% is an F, but if that's good for you, then,
No, I said I'm in the top 50%.
No, I know, but I'm just saying a 51.
I don't know. I could, 99 is in the top. You know what I'm saying? I could be, I didn't say where I was.
You said
in
the
the
lower.
5K.
You said the
lower.
lower.
In the 5K, I was pretty, and the weird thing, I don't know what it is. I mean, the Disney race, I was all amped up and I had a lot of, energy and whatnot. And then the Clermont race, I guess it's because it's an evening race and you've already had your whole day and it's like, so I just didn't have the energy at the 5K that I had at the 10K. So.
And you're running from zombies, so you should have been going faster.
That's true. But I didn't. Anyway, thank you guys for calling. If you'd like to give us a phone call, you can. Our phone number is 707-61-DEATH. That is 661-DEATH. I don't know what the numbers are. Don't ask me. You can also go to voicemail.mixminuspodcast.com and record straight from there. Either way, it will go to us. And we have our ongoing contest, the Celebrity Death Phone. So if a celebrity dies, then make sure you call and inform us about it, and we'll put you in a drawing.
But you cannot kill them.
You cannot be responsible for their death.
You cannot be responsible for the death.
Yep, sorry, there is no exception to that rule. So there you go. That's the contact segment, Adam. That's the contact sag.
3, 2, 1. Contact.
I know it. I'm glad that you found that funny.
I did. Because, wow, stumbled on that twice.
News game. It's the news game. It's the news game. What questions will he ask? It is the Mix Minus news game. This is a segment of the show where Adam will what? Do I not say the Mix Minus?
Yeah, you do. Keep going.
I supposed to? Adam will read me 5, count them 5 questions from the New York Times news quiz, and I, using only my head, brain, and mouth words, will answer those questions. You can play along if you'd like to. New York Times, nytimes.com. Anyway, Adam, what is the first question on the old news quiz this evening? Oh, by the way, did I say these are multiple choice and I'm trying to answer it without getting the multiple choice? But I'm always free.
You did now.
Okay. Well, I did now. Yeah.
Did you follow the news this week? Take our quiz.
Yeah.
Yes, I
question. Did. Yes, I did. Number 1. Yes.
Sorry,
yes, I did.
The question is below the photo, not above the photo. Okay. Tuesday's elections continued a winning streak for Democrats. Of the following, which was the only contest that Republicans won? Kentucky governor.
Nope.
Mississippi governor.
Yes.
Do you want to hear any more, or is that?
I'm going to guess that there's the Virginia House, the Virginia Senate.
Pennsylvania Supreme Court.
Yeah. Nope. Democrats won
Control of Virginia House of Delegates.
That was the Democrats.
And control of Virginia State Senate.
There you go. Democrats.
So you said Mississippi governor.
Mississippi is the only one that the Republicans won. Yeah.
That is correct. Number 2, Ohio voters approved ballot measures on which 2 topics in Tuesday's elections?
Legalizing marijuana, and I don't know how they made abortion legal in the Constitution. Like they guaranteed a right to abortion in this Constitution. I don't know how to say that in a concise way.
Constitutional right to abortion and recreational marijuana legalization.
Correct.
Number 3.
The
Supreme Court is generally friendly to gun rights, but the justices' questions at an argument this week suggested they were likely to uphold a federal law meant to do what?
What are my choices?
Arm and train teachers to stop school shooters. Ban assault-style rifles nationwide. Incentivize states to adopt red flag laws. I don't even know what a red flag law is. Let every American carry a concealed weapon, or stop domestic abusers from getting guns.
And they were stopping it? Wait, the Supreme Court was...
It says they're generally friendly to gun rights, but the justices' questions in an argument this week suggested they were likely to uphold a federal law meant to do what?
Oh, uphold a law.
Uphold a law.
Like a red flag law, by the way, is like if you get in a mental institution or something, you may get red flagged for getting a handgun. Like that would be like there are certain things that if you go through in your life would make you later disqualified for having a handgun. I think that's what a red flag law is. I'm going to go with our producer and say the domestic one because I have no idea. That's just that's my phone a friend.
That's correct. That was number 3, I think.
That was number 3. And what was it? What was it that we agreed to there? No guns for crazies is what he says.
New York Times Siena College.
Tell me what his answer was. The one that I said I'm going to go with him. What was the actual answer to the question?
Stop domestic abusers from getting guns.
Okay, so they are likely to uphold a law that prevents. Correct. Okay, got it.
Yep. A New York Times Siena College poll of voters in 6 battleground states showed President Biden losing to Donald Trump in 5 of them.
Yes.
On which of these issues did voters favor Biden over Trump?
I think the only issue that they favored him was abortion.
So there's the economy, abortion, immigration, national security, and Israel and Palestine.
Yeah, abortion.
Correct. Number 5.
Number 5, the final question.
The New York Marathon took place last Sunday with more than 50,000 runners participating.
50,000. Now, my dinky little Disney race only had 12,000 runners.
No.
That's 50,000. That's crazy.
Now, normally you don't like a sports question, but running is your thing. You are a
I am
runner.
I'm an elite athlete, Adam. Yes.
So, how many boroughs of the city do the runners race through?
All of them. So
that's not you. You have to give me a number.
On. There's Manhattan, Bronx, Brooklyn, Harlem, Staten Island. Is that 5? 5.
Well, your answers were either 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5.
5.
So
that would be all of them. Yeah.
That is correct. Runners go through all 5 boroughs of New York City: Staten Island, Brooklyn, Queens, Manhattan, and the Bronx.
Oh, Queens, not Harlem. Okay. So, sorry. Harlem's not a borough. Harlem's in Manhattan, right? Was that
was 5 out of 5.
5 out of 5. That's amazing. And that was now granted that was one with an assist there. Now I have to go over here and look this up. Thank goodness it's the first.
You were gonna save that off and You
know what, Adam? Yeah, I am. I'm gonna do that one day.
Procrastinator.
In the meantime, though, let's throw 60 seconds up on the big board.
The game begins in 3, 2, 1.
What U.S. state was once called West New Jersey?
Philadelphia.
Pennsylvania.
What
state? What name does entertainment cartoonist Hirschfeld hide in his drawings? What name?
Oh, Walter.
Does Nina? What tragedy occurred 2 years to the day after the federal raid on the Branch Davidian complex in Waco? What tragedy occurred 2 years to the day after
the Oklahoma City bombing?
That is correct. What U.S. spider's poison is 15 times as powerful as a rattlesnake's venom?
Black Widow?
That's correct.
Oh, nice.
What April 22nd, 1990 celebration left Central Park with 1,543 tons of litter? 154.3.
Adam.
Time is up. I cannot complete the question.
Was it the Pride Parade? Was it the New York City Pride Parade?
It was Earth Day.
Oh, Earth Day. Well, everyone should have known that. There you go, Adam. That's where was I?
I don't even know how many you got. You did get a few. You got a few.
I got a few, and I already got a perfect 5 score on it. I would say Adam.
Oh, you got 2. You got 2.
Whatever. I got 2. But with the 5, that makes 7. So that's. You know what? I edited this one. I shortened it. I did it on the mixer.
Oh.
So aren't you proud of me?
It's impressive. You're such a technologist.
I am. I'm the technologist of our age, Adam. So, Luddite, I am not.
You were really trying to hit the post there, the bump, whatever it is you're called.
I was, and I did not do it. I put this between the test kitchen and the news game because I just I know you and I watch Survivor, and the early chat room hates us when we talk about Survivor.
Come on
so
in.
I figured we just put it. By this point, they're all asleep. So I thought we would talk about Survivor this week because my favorite player, my pick, went home.
Was Caleb your favorite player? Is that
yes?
Yeah, okay. Oh,
yes.
Spoiler, everyone! Spoiler. There was a double eviction as well.
It was a double eviction. I was super sad that Bruce didn't go home, but I understand that it was an editing thing and whatever. And, ultimately these people, they're never going to vote the way you want them to vote because they're playing a game and they don't have all the information that you have. You know what I'm saying? So
Bruce is such a dick.
He is. But then again,
such a dick.
That's what we're shown. That's what we're shown. We could be just seeing his worst moments.
I mean, I agree. People annoy me, and I feel like Bruce would just grate on me.
He would absolutely annoy me. But I did have a question about Survivor, and I want to understand this. So put on your thinking hat here, Adam.
Yeah.
This is the question. They split the tribe into 2, so there were 2 groups. And each of them did their own immunity thing, right? So the girl who won immunity, who ended up sending Sifu home, I guess, or I don't know which one it was, but she went, well, now that I'm in a position of power and I have this much power, and I'm like
power.
I'm like, you don't have any power. You're immune to the vote, but you're just one vote. You're still just one vote. Like, I don't know what kind of power you think you have.
We literally said to each other, this is not Big Brother.
Yeah.
Because in Big Brother, if you're HOH, then you have some power, but immunity just means you're not getting.
I've never understood that about Big Brother. Why does the head of household why do they give the head of household so much power? The only thing the head of household can do is nominate people. That's it. So it's like, once he or she has nominated people, like, why do they continue to bow to them? It's like, they can't control the vote. They can't
because for whatever reason, if you go against the HOH, you're more likely to be put on the block the next week. Like,
see, that's what I don't understand, because it's going to be a different. Yeah, but you're playing a game. It's like it's going to be a different. I feel like Survivor gameplay has evolved over the years, and it's constantly new and it's constantly fresh.
Survivor gameplay is much more better.
It's much more nuanced. It's definitely much more nuanced and entertaining than Big Brother, because Big Brother is just the same thing. It's literally the same 4 events over and over, and it just shows, right? It's like you can see the machinations at work, and it's just, I just don't understand how anyone watches Big Brother. So I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you who won, because you'll tell me that I'm.
No,
because,
don't tell me. We haven't watched it yet. Oh, no,
I know.
The chat room's gonna.
It was Suri.
Don't spoil me.
Suri came back.
Wow.
Suri came back.
There was a battle
and
back in the last. It is a 2-hour episode. So.
Yeah, it was the producers. They did this whole Twistiverse
Suri
thing.
Must win. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's been in the bag for her the whole season. The producers were rigging the show so that she would win.
Suri is a favorite because, come on.
I think that's
2 or 3 times in Survivor.
I think I've done enough. Adam, each and every week, our executive producer, Cyclone, sends us an exhaustive compendium of facts. I couldn't find it in my email, but now I found it. These are all things, these are all events that happened on a particular day, the day that we're recording this show, of some other year. So these are all going to be things that happened on November 10th of some year other than the current year. Does that make sense, Adam? Do you get the bit?
I believe I get it.
All right,
I think so, yeah.
Happy National Vanilla Cupcake Day, Adam.
Oh.
I think you used this on your show because you went on a whole diatribe about vanilla and old people.
It's true.
You broke the rule. You used one of our show pieces.
I forgot. Yeah, I
great.
did forget.
So you just left us with shit. You left us with
It's
area code
day.
Who gives a fuck about area codes?
Whatever list he's using, send me that list, Cyclone, because that one was not on the website that I use. I would have talked about area code day for sure.
National Direct to Consumer Friday. What are these? These are fucked up. These are horrible. I wanted the vanilla
area code day. How do they?
As an old person, I love vanilla.
I do too.
I
do too. But I want to know:
robbed.
is it something that happens as you get older? Because it seems that older people generally like vanilla over, say, chocolate, but kids like chocolate over vanilla. I think.
I didn't like chocolate as a kid either. In LGBTQ history today, Adam, of this day of some other year. You get what I'm trying to say?
I do, yeah.
Where was the one that he wanted us to talk about with the machine gun? I'm just trying to find the machine gun. Here it is. In 1980, a former policeman fires a submachine gun into 2 Greenwich Village gay bars in New York City, killing 2 men and wounding 6 others.
That's a bummer.
I know. But this is what, I mean...
and then we go to the Disney one. The merry-go-round with, Mickey's nose in the middle opened last week.
1992, the soundtrack to Disney's animated Aladdin is released by Walt Disney Records.
We're just leaving a nice big space there to...
Yeah, the album, which will win the Academy Award with Golden Globe for the Best Original Score, features the music of Alan Menken and lyrics by Tim Rice.
In 2000, Phantom of the Megaplex, a Disney Channel original movie, first aired. Pete Riley, an assistant theater manager, has to cope with strange happenings on the night of the major movie premiere.
I see. Yeah. Did you watch Phantom of the Megaplex?
No, I did not. Did you?
No, I've never heard of it, ever. I'm just curious why you chose that particular...
I don't know. It seemed interesting to me. How do you pick any? It just seemed interesting.
Oh, you did the birth of the Marine Corps on your show as well. Look at it. Wow. Yeah, you need to be paying Cyclone twice because you're using his material on your show. That's not outside of our contract.
Yeah, he gets a bonus from me for like the holidays and stuff. So.
November 10th, 1969, Sesame Street debuted. Now, here's the thing, Adam. I was 2 years old when Sesame Street debuted. I was right in that the Muppets brought me up because the Muppets, when I was a kid, the Muppets were there for me. When I was a teenager, the Muppet Show was there for me on ABC. And when I was a young adult, Fraggle Rock was there for me.
I have one question.
What?
Can you tell me how to get to Sesame Street?
I think I've pointed out before, Adam, the song is very, very negligent at actually telling you how to get to Sesame Street. The song is about the question of, do you know how to get to Sesame Street? It's like they don't actually answer the question, which I find highly annoying. Let's see. Anything else? Oh, the copies of Slaughterhouse-5 are burned in North Dakota. Oh, that's not what I wanted. A cargo ship suddenly sinks in Lake Superior on November 10th, 1975. That was the Edmund Fitzgerald, Adam. Are you familiar? Are you familiar with the Edmund Fitzgerald?
I'm not. But when you go out on a boat, or a ship on Lake Superior or Michigan or Erie or whatever, it just seems like you're in the ocean, doesn't it? When you get out, you feel like you're in the ocean.
Yeah. When you stand on the shores of Lake Okeechobee and look out, it looks like you're looking at the ocean. I'm sure you know this song.
With a load of iron ore, 26,000 tons more than the Edmund Fitzgerald weighed empty.
It sounds vaguely familiar.
It is a 6-minute long song that never breaks from that tune right there. And it's like, that's it.
It's
Just
like a shanty, like a sea shanty sort of thing.
6 minutes of that. 6 minutes of that. No cool hook in the middle of it. No, it's just 6 minutes of that
For
shit.
some reason, I see those Irish foot dancer people in the background, like the
river
Lord of the
dancers?
Dance. The river
Yeah,
dancers,
river dancers,
in the background doing a little dance to it.
I have, why is my thing behaving so badly?
I don't know.
I'm trying to get to, there we go. This is what I want to do, Adam. I want to do this. I want to do, many people have their birthday on November 10th, and we would like to say happy birthday to a few of them now, today. Happy birthday, Taryn Egerton. You have turned 34. Happy birthday, Corey Gamble. You've turned 43. And David Petcow turns 45. Sure.
Pete Co.
Tracy Morgan turned 55. And let's see, who else do I know? Neil Gaiman turned 63.
Steve Brookstein turned 55.
The aforementioned Tim Rice from the Aladdin soundtrack turned 79. And literally, there's nobody. Hugh Bonneville turned 60.
Ellen Pompeo from Grey's Anatomy turned 54.
Is that from Grey's? I have no idea who these
She's
people
great.
are. It's like
great.
November 10th may very well be the one day of the year that I don't know any of the people that were just like, who? Oh, Richard
I'm even
Burton.
looking at photos and I don't know who these people are.
Richard Burton was born on...
Sinbad is 67.
Oh, well, there you go. Well, Mackenzie Phillips is 64. There you go. That's the trifecta there, Adam. When you can get Tim Rice, Mackenzie Phillips, and Neil Gaiman all on the same birthday, that's what you got. All we got to say is, for all of us here, to all of you there, happy birthday. Okay. I think I'm going to skip over. Like, how big is your Chicago?
Well, it was a one-day trip.
Okay, well, tell me about your one-day trip to Chicago.
We went to Chicago while Sydney was in the hospital because we had already purchased...
monster. Monster.
We had already purchased the flight and everything. And so we're like, well, it's only a one day. It was literally, we left at like noon on Saturday or 2. We were back by 10 a.m. the next day. So it was.
So what did you do? You jet settered you. What did you?
We flew because he needed one more segment to get his loyalty. Whatever for next year.
Yeah.
We stayed in a hotel and we went to the. What is it? Oh shoot! Second City. Second City.
Yes.
It's a comedy club.
Yeah,
it's a comedy school, and it's like where all these famous people got their start. But it's improv.
Yep. Billy Crystal, Martin Short.
I am so stupid. I'm like, let's go to Second City where they focus on improv. And guess what?
What?
I hate improv. Hate it. So they have like 15 shows a night or something. 1 out of 15 is a stand-up. And I'm like, let's go to the stand-up. Daniel, this is like ordering the pork chop at Bobby Flay's, right? I'm like going to the improv and I'm, where they specialize in improv, and I'm going to the stand-up set.
I'm confused as to why you don't like improv, but go ahead.
I don't like to watch skits. I don't like skits. I don't like doing skits. I don't like watching skits. I like stand-up.
And yet every year you insist that I write a fucking skit for Pride 48.
You like to do that. That is a you thing. But anyway, I hate them. The stand-up was horrible.
Yes.
Have you ever been to a stand-up where it's uncomfortable? It's a small theater. And they're trying so hard to be funny and make everyone laugh. And you're feeling nervous for them.
Yes.
And they have no control of the stage whatsoever. It is It was horrible. So bad. And I like comedy. And we watched a comedy special on Netflix the next day, and it was so much better. I mean, it is a professional, comedian, but I guess I was expecting more because
in fairness,
great people.
The guy you saw was a professional comedian. He did get paid to do what he did. He was a professional comedian.
The ones that are so bad that they call out the audience for not laughing.
Yeah, if I had a smarter audience, you'd get it.
Yeah, or whatever. It's like, oh, come on. Now I feel really uncomfortable. Anyway, we did that. We had dinner after that, and that's it. We came back the next morning.
Just came back home the next day. Wow. That makes you, that makes you like a jet setter, right? Like that's
Does
like,
it? Is that officially, if you do like fly one day and fly the next, you're a jet setter? Is that?
Yeah. I'm just going to pop off to Chicago to go watch a shitty stand-up routine and have some dinner.
It was super cheap. The ticket. Okay. I don't know what people consider cheap, but it was like $500 for both of us.
That is not super cheap.
And it was round trip.
Oh my God. I thought you were talking about the stand-up show.
No, the flight. No, the flight. The flight was...
I'm cheap. I'm cheap. I would not pay $500 for a flight to Chicago. I would, but then I live near an area that has commercial flights easier than...
Really, the location didn't matter. He needed a segment, and he only wanted a short flight. So he wanted something close.
$500 for both of you, or so $250 round trip.
$250 round trip.
Okay, okay. That's I wouldn't do it, mind you. I don't think I would do that. I don't think I would ever.
He paid for it. I mean, it was an all expenses paid trip for me because
I hate flying. So it's like I hate getting cramped into those things. I hate the crowds.
And I hate theaters, and I only eat vanilla ice cream.
I don't only eat vanilla ice cream. I just like vanilla ice cream. Just get it right. One of the things that I like to do on Halloween, Adam, it is a tradition in this household that we have upheld for going on 5 years now. 4 years, 5 years. Anyway, Hanson, the musical group Hanson.
So this is the Bop.
They had a song called Bop. Yes.
Okay.
They like to play at the Food and Wine Festival at Epcot, and they are always there on Halloween. Like,
do they still have long hair?
No. Halloween is they like to come and I always surmise that they're just coming here during Halloween because it's a paid trip for them, right? They get put up at Disney. They get to go to the Disney Halloween parties and stuff, and to the Universal Studio to Halloween Horror Nights and everything. And I'm like, I'm sure they probably take their kids and everything. So this is like a really cool vacation, right? They come and they do the Disney shows for 4 or 5 days. They get paid, plus they get to do all their Halloween things for their kids. And then Zach casually mentioned to me, he's like, do you know, like, Hanson has like 17 kids? Like, between them, they have 17 kids.
Are there just four Hanson brothers?
There are, but in the group, there's only 3. There's 3 in the group. And
so they have 17 between the 3?
Yeah. It's like Taylor has 7 kids. Isaac
Are they
has,
Mormon? Is that the thing?
Or? No, they're not. They're from Iowa or whatever. But they both the youngest and the oldest have 5 kids each, and then the middle kid has 7 kids. And some of them are now, the older kids are now like 18, 19 or whatever. And I was thinking they should form a band called like Hansoner. You know what I'm saying? It's just like
it's like more Hanson.
Yeah, exactly, like Hansoner, and then their kids can later start a group called it's called the Hansonist, right? It's I feel like that's what it was like.
And then the next one, more Hansonist, or would it be more Hanson? I don't know.
17 kids, and I was right about it because when I was stalking their Instagram, they have all kind of pictures at the parks on Halloween, and the parties and when at the Halloween parties.
Do you think they ever go for Halloween as Hanson? Like, they have all of their kids with like red long wigs or whatever, and whatever blonde, white t-shirts, blonde, sure.
But yeah, went and saw Hanson. We did a thing where we got reserved seating for it, so we were in the front section there. And I got to tell you,
did you have your own restroom and concession stand on the floor?
No, we didn't.
Did they stamp your hand?
They did. They actually gave us a little sticker that we had to put on our shirt. But I will tell you this: the mix was so bad in the front section. Is like
did you
email
them
Zach
later and say, if you need anyone who can help you with your audio.
So our reserve seating meant that we got into the theater early, and we could sit in this one reserve section up front if we wanted to. But I was lamenting the fact, and I was saying, like, if we do this next year and we do the VIP thing, I want to sit nearer to the soundboard, like in the center. So it's like, because the soundboard for the theater is
Daniel,
right
if you
in the back.
lean over and start giving suggestions to the person
I
there,
wouldn't do that.
If I was there, if I was Zach, I would slap you upside the head or walk out. One of the two, because
here's the thing. I didn't talk about how bad the mix was and how muddy the sound was and everything. It was after the concert, Zach brought it up. He was just like, was it me, or was the sound really bad?
You're like, actually.
And I was like, well, yeah, the mix was really shitty, but I think that's because we were off to one side and it was just a bad. Anyway, that's all it was, Adam. Hansoner. Thank you. That's my idea, Adam. That's my joke. Hansoner. That's it. That's Hansoner.
Good.
I'm going to be known as the guy that made that joke. Hansoner.
I don't know if I have any
retort to that. Nothing. It's very loud. It's extremely loud. It's like we do this show live every Friday night right here on Pride 48. You can listen if you want to. Oh, by the way, not next week. I got a camp next week, so we won't have a show next week. Anyway,
not next week. Okay.
Yeah, so not November 17th. But other than that, every Friday night, come join us over at pride48.com. If you would like to give us a phone call, you can. I don't know how to do this anymore. Our phone number is 707-61-DEATH. You can send us an email. Our email is contact@mix-podcast.com. And I think that's it. Is that it? Is there anything else I cover in the exit?
I don't think so. In the chat room, Cyclone says public assistance is good for some families. Number of kids that Hanson has.
I think Hanson can make their own car payments with their performing. Anyway, goodbye, Adam.
Goodbye.
This podcast is a proud member of the Pride 48 Podcasting Network. Check out more great shows at pride48.com.